Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I need some peace and serenity in my life today. I just do. So I brought all of the books that I have not read today. I chose to read some different ones. So these are the usual suspects. And I'm just going to randomly pick a book. I think I'm going to go with The Meditations for Living in Balance, Daily Solutions for People Who Do Too Much, and get right into that. I just want to say, I got a comment on my video yesterday. It was either on here or the vlog, but they were talking about this channel. And somebody commented and said, I should look it up, but whatever, I'll just paraphrase it. And they said, your Peterisms videos are so different than they used to be. You can really tell like the changes and the growth that has occurred in you. And like I just sat there and I read that comment and I was like, wow. Like it meant so much to me because I think like I can feel the changes, you know, slowly that are occurring in me in the years that I've done the meditation books and just, you know, even the things that I've done in the last year to really work on myself. I think therapy has been profoundly impactful to the changes and the growth in my life in the last 6 months, last 2 months. And, but I just want to, whoever wrote that comment, I just want to say thank you. I think, you know, for all of us out there, whether you're in recovery and you're in a 12-step program or just in therapy or you're reading self-help books or you're walking and working on your physical health or you're running or you're dieting or whatever, for other people to notice the growth and the change in us, that we are attempting to make ourselves better people on a daily basis. Like even if we know that inside, right? And we feel the changing occur, for other people to notice that and identify that and say something about it feels really, really good. So I just want to say thank you for that. Okay, let's get into today's meditation for living in balance. I do have my reading glasses with me today. And it is June 24th. Feelings. June 24th, feelings. Our feelings are our most genuine path to knowledge. Audre Lorde. Let's hear it for feelings. Feelings are the doors through which we have to go to reach beyond ourselves. Many of us have been taught that we can't trust our feelings, and this has thrown us out of balance with ourselves and with our connection with our spirituality. We cannot reach our spirituality through our minds. The mind thinks about the spiritual, whereas our feelings experience the spiritual. Both of our minds and our feelings enrich our knowledge of our spiritual selves. We can reach spirituality with our feelings alone. Our minds by themselves can only find abstract concepts. If we spent as much time enriching our feelings and our awareness of a relationship with them as we do enriching our minds, imagine what might happen. Start working with your feelings. Honor them. When you feel something, notice it. Assume that it is there for a very good reason and let yourself truly feel it. Start to notice those small tinges that are the precursors to full-fledged feelings. Remember, busy people are feeling challenged. I love that. Okay, I sat on my reading glasses. Can you guys tell? It's been like a month. I just need to order another pair. Somebody told me if I took them into like a glass repair shop that they would be able to fix them. But anyway, I really like that meditation and talking about feelings and talking about spirituality. I didn't know that it was going to go there, but my old sponsor used to have this quote that he would say. It's kind of a recovery quote, but he would say, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings having a spiritual experience. And I really, really like that quote, you know, that we're spiritual beings here on earth. And once we tap in to our soul or our spirituality, and you can be an atheist and still have spiritual experiences in that world. I believe, okay, that spiritual experiences are, you know, of our soul, of ourselves, whatever, however you define that, okay? For me, even driving back in the day, like with the windows down out in the country, in the middle of summer, listening to Bob Dylan was a spiritual experience, you know? And dancing with my friends or sitting outside in the grass, you know, watching Boo Radley run around is a spiritual experience to some degree. Have you ever been with your friend and you're laughing so hard over something that is so silly and just stupid? I mean, to the point where you cannot, like, belly laughing so hard that you can't stop laughing. Like, I feel like that is a spiritual experience, okay? So when we talk about spiritual experiences and what is of our soul, that doesn't necessarily mean we're sitting in a church or a temple. That can be something completely different. And I believe, you know, that I have spiritual experiences all the time. So do I believe that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience? Yes. And that means that I'm a spiritual person. Did you ever see the movie Cocoon? Okay. Like, I'm probably dating myself because I actually tried to buy this movie on iTunes and it wasn't there. But iTunes, I'm losing my mind. Cocoon is this movie about these aliens that come to Florida and to like rescue one of their alien friends that got left behind or family members. And they end up meeting these old couples. It was a fantastic movie, like in the 80s. These old couples that are living in this retirement home. I think they're living in a retirement home, or is that the second one? Cocoon 2 is good too. And so when they come out of their shells, like they have human shells, so they look human, but when they come out of their shells, they're just kind of like these, they look kind of still like bodies, but they're just like wavy energy. That's kind of what I think of, right? Like of our spirit inside of us. And that spirit, that soul, is what colors I like, what music I like, my desire to dance, you know, my desire to laugh or smile or hang out with my friends or hug my husband, you know, or see my dog run around, whatever, you know. Like even like my friend today, she and I, like my friend Melissa, she's very involved with dog rescues. And so she knows, as do people in my personal life. I haven't really talked a lot about this on video yet, but I'm kind of getting the itch for another dog. And so I've been looking at a lot of rescues and stuff. Not going and looking, but like online. And so there was this Beagle Bull Terrier mix, and his name, she sent a picture to me, and she goes, this dog would be perfect for you. His name was Justin B-Dog. Because like a Beagle with like a Bulldog mix, and he was so cute, this little puppy. He was so cute. But anyway, like even laughing about that, I was sitting there like reading it and laughing and stuff. Like that was even just a spiritual experience, you know? And I think to identify with our feelings and allow ourselves to feel our feelings. You know, for so long, I didn't allow myself to feel my feelings. I really didn't, you know. I know people know Peter Monn as this guy that cries on videos or gets very emotional and whatnot. And, you know, that was not me. That was not me 10 years ago. That was not me until I came back in the rooms of recovery. And I thought, I have nothing to lose. And, you know, like, you know, my dad has told all these stories as a kid that I just was very silent, very still, like I just didn't throw tantrums, I didn't cry, I didn't do a lot of that. And I don't know where that came from, I don't, you know. But I was never taught by my parents, don't feel your feelings, don't cry. I mean, they were people that were like, cry if you need to cry, you know, like laugh if you need to laugh, you know. I didn't grow up in an environment where anybody taught me like, don't, like to be a man means you don't cry. I never learned that, you know. I do remember one thing, and this is an interesting experience that I had. When my dad's dad died, I was like 5 or 6, and so my grandfather was a homicide detective, and he was, you know, in World War II, and he had this huge, huge funeral. I mean, it was like, I just remember there being like tons of people there. And at one point, my dad, I remember my dad showing a lot of emotion when I was growing up, but at times also being very stoic. And I remember him taking me into the bathroom, and we were just like standing there in front of the mirrors, and there I was, Peter at 5 years old with this little suit and tie on, and my dad like crying for a couple minutes. And then I remember he like kind of like stood up and like wiped his eyes, and then he was like, okay, this is between you and I, buddy. But that was like the only instance I ever remember in my childhood of my dad ever kind of like, he was just not that dad. He was like, I mean, to this day, like, I mean, my dad knows I'm a crier, you know? So I don't remember ever like growing up with any of that. So I don't know where this kind of stoicism, well, that's completely something different. This like stoic mentality of my faith, very flat, you know, no reaction emotionally. And then I came back into the rooms of recovery, and I was like, I need to start feeling my feelings. I need to start talking because I'm dying inside. I'm dying inside, and people are asking me on a daily basis, how are you doing? And I'm going, I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? And I remember I've been going to meetings. I'd come back to going to meetings for a couple months, and I was listening to a lot of speaker leads, which are like online. You can get them. People tell their stories in meetings, and they talk about, I just talked about this in my vlog. They talk about what it was like, what happened, and what their life is like now. And that's a speaker lead. And basically, people in recovery get up and they tell their stories, okay? And I was listening to this person's story, and in it, they were talking about, I have no idea anything about this person, but anyway, they were talking about something to the effect of, I think I was hearing it there. Somebody kept on asking them on a daily basis, like, how are you doing? And they would just say, fine. They would say, fine. And that was totally me. And then one day, they like lost it and they said, I'm not doing very well at all. And I like made some deal with myself or something. I was like the next person that asks. Because there was this woman that asked me every single day. And I said to her, I'm not doing good. Like, I'm not doing okay at all. And things started changing and things started getting better. I think that's how it went. I can't remember. It's been so long now. But anyway, that woman actually is the woman that said to me every single day, if nobody else has told you this, I love you. And I went to a noon meeting and she was there every single day and she would say that to me, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And it hit me at my core. And now I say that in my vlog just to pass that on because I think it's such a profound statement. But I think it's so important to feel our feelings. You know, I had to feel my feelings to move through the pain of things that had happened in my life. I didn't even really start grieving my mom until 3 or 4 years after she was gone. I had to really, really move through the pain. I always talk about that in videos. I talk about, you know, the difference between, and I say it from time to time by accident, but like moving on versus moving through. Like, I'm not a big believer on just moving on. I feel like moving on is here's the grief, and moving on is we hop over the grief on, and then it just stays there. Moving through, or pain of any kind, that moving through the pain is when you feel all of those feelings, those uncomfortable feelings that we don't want to feel, that don't make us feel good, that we just are like push away, push away, push away. But we force ourselves and we allow ourselves to feel those feelings so we can move through it to the other side. And it's important to feel those feelings. I used to compare it to driving in a rainstorm and you see these black clouds in the distance and people are pulling off the side of the road because they think the storm's going to be so bad, and you're like white knuckling it and you like make it through the storm and you see the black clouds in the rear view mirror and you're like, oh my God, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And there are sunny skies ahead. And that's how it's going to be when you allow yourself to feel your feelings, no matter how uncomfortable they are or that they're going to be. And you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And feeling our feelings and journaling about our feelings and talking to therapists and counselors and life coaches about our feelings, or support people and sponsors or friends or spouses, all of that allows us to get this stuff out there. And when somebody looks at you and says, I relate, I feel the same way, oh, what a powerful feeling that is. Or I have felt the same way. And then you pass that on to somebody else and you do the same thing down the road. And that's where we turn our wounds into wisdom. And that's powerful. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.